Joe Rogan just created a lot of problems for black folks. White supremacists are grabbing and holding on to this Joe Rogan clip, and they are running wild with it.
Like, this is crazy. People have long said that rap music, even though, listen, you love hip hop. I know you just got back from Kanye West. I'm a huge hip hop fan.
We got to talk about that at some point.
We definitely do. I love hip hop. But there's some people that believe that gangsta rap in particular, when it came about in the 1980s, was a part of the push to popularize it and produce it, was a part of the government, some faction of the government, some intelligence agencies wanting to create more crime, wanting to fill more private prisons, wanting to erode the fabric of society so they could push for more laws to keep you safer. This is like one of the most tinfoil-y of tinfoil hat conspiracies. But people are pointing out that right now is like one of the rare times where no rap music is on the charts.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, how does this coincide with USAID? Was USAID like actively promoting rap music? Was that one of the reasons why rap music was so popular? Mm-hmm. Is that real? That can't be real.
Maybe back in the day. It seems like that would be more manipulative. I don't see how.
I believed that until I heard mumble rap. And I'm like, this is not real. This is trying to make people stupid.
Yeah.
There's something about this, you know.
Right.
So, and obviously some artists are better at it than others. Some of them are fun the way they do it. But I'm saying there's a giant chunk of them that are inaudible. Mm-hmm. You don't know what they're like. Who's into this?
Bad faith white supremacists are grabbing this clip, deliberately misinterpreting it, and then disseminating misinformation to discredit all black music. From an untrained eye, what Joe Rogan just said sounded very similar to what Professor Griff been teaching us, been telling us about the psychological covert war on hip hop. But with a trained ear, you would understand that they said two very different things. All Joe Rogan was doing was repeating the information that Mike Benz gave him. But because Joe Rogan is not equipped with the information that Mike Benz is equipped with, Joe Rogan didn't do a perfect job at repeating it exactly how Mike Benz told him. Joe Rogan does a very poor job at regurgitating the information that he received, which is why all these problems were created for black folks today. Right, see, Mike Benz told Joe Rogan that USAID utilized taxpayer funds and millions of dollars and utilized rap music to overthrow regimes and authorities that they didn't like. For example, in Bangladesh, they took millions of dollars and ran a psychological campaign using rap music in Bangladesh, where the citizens of Bangladesh and the youth, they were very timid, they were quiet, they were submissive. But with the instillment of rap music, popularizing rap music within the region, like using ads, using radio, and making rap music a very popular genre, a specific type of rap music though, like the conscious anti-authority rap music, the citizens of Bangladesh that was usually timid, now the youth were anti-authority, they were rowdy, they went up against the government, they was pushing for their rights, and rap music essentially was utilized by USAID to overthrow the regime in Bangladesh that the United States didn't like. That's how powerful rap music is, specifically anti-authority conscious rap.
You know, those documents that the Gray Zone published have two rap songs in Bangladesh that have lines like they were designed to inspire anti-government sentiment and to promote street protests and political reform. I mean, you know, literally writing rap albums to get people to take to the streets and pull off the exact riot that the State Department wants to destabilize the country. And music penetrates. I mean, this is they got really attached to this during the Cold War and in the 1980s because it's and in fact in those documents they talk about how sponsoring individual artists is actually sometimes a lot more effective because they do art and activism. While they're putting on these festivals, they're promoting an agenda at the festivals. While they are putting these, you know, songs on radio distribution and supercharging, you know, their brand, those songs have themes and messages about taking down authoritarian governments, and the people got to rise up. And you have to represent the will of the people. You know, we have to, you know, end poverty. You know, and then they'll make the argument it's the government's fault that there's poverty. We have to end racial or gender inequality, and then the State Department or USAID will be working through its demographic segmentation with those exact groups. This is another reason we've been pumping up these feminist groups and these LGBT groups. If you want, for example, you can pull up the WikiLeaks CIA Red Cell memo that showed how the CIA pitched to the State Department.
That Joe Rogan clip and that clip by Mike Benz is putting up triple-double in white supremacist Twitter. They're using these clips to say, see, we told y'all. See, white music was thriving in the 60s, the 50s, and the 70s, and then rap music came along and surpassed it because of the government. Rap music is a psyop. Black music was a psyop. Black music couldn't surpass white music naturally. Nah, man, when you see these black folks go multi-platinum and diamond and achieve all this success, it's because the government promoted it and it suppressed white music. These folks is now saying that these clips prove that black artists and black music, they didn't earn their keep, they didn't earn their spot, and the government is why we popping, which is just a bad faith interpretation of this. And we're going to debunk this very easily. But here are these people explaining how black music and black artists did not earn their achievement, and it's the government that made them popping and suppress white music.
Hey, did you know that the CIA funded the rap music explosion? And now that the USAID funds got cut, for the first time in 30 years, not a single rap song has made it to the top 40. Wow. 2 years in a row. Think about that for a second. And I want to take you back to the late 80s and early 90s when rock was everywhere. I think you remember glam rock, arena rock, all the great lyrics, everywhere you looked. Then almost overnight it was gone and rap exploded with like MTV Raps and all that, right? And everyone just said, well, you know, I guess that's the culture. That's what people want now. That's the market, that we can make money. But here's what we didn't know back then. The CIA had been in the music business since the Cold War. We know they're in the movie business. It's declassified now, so we can actually look into it. You can look it up. Ben Swan reported on this, and I thought it was fascinating that someone finally picked up on it. So back in the Cold War, the CIA was paying to send Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie all around the world because they needed the world to see America as a tolerant place. Don't get me wrong, those are three of the greatest musicians who ever lived, in my opinion. I mean, their music was real, the talent was real, but the State Department, they were cutting the checks. Crazy. So when Mike Pence, the former State Department official, you probably know him, came out and said USAID was funding rap artists in 14 countries as recently as 2024 and training them how to get young people into the streets, you got to go back and ask yourself, if they're doing this in 24, what exactly were they doing in 1991 when rock fell off the face of the earth and rap exploded for the next 30 years? Because then in 2025, when Doge cuts hit, and for the first time in 30 years, rap disappeared from the top 40. Obvious. 2 years in a row. The Billboard numbers confirm it. You can look it up.
In 2024, Not Like Us was number one for damn near half the year. In 2025, Luther and other Kendrick Lamar records was number one for damn near half the year. In 2026, Drake and Don Toliver had number one records. Like, what are you talking about? So now these people are saying, you see, we told y'all, these folks really wasn't that talented, man. These folks ain't surpassed us naturally, man. They got a boost from the government, man. That's why they popping. Cut it out, man. First off, if that music was so potent and so powerful, it overthrew a government in other countries. They used it as a weapon in other countries. What makes you think they would want to promote that music over here? No, what happened was hip-hop was already popping, right? Grandmaster Flash already dropped the message. That anti-authority conscious music was causing a rebellion in the streets. It was becoming popular music. It was resonating with disenfranchised people all across America, right? The music was skyrocketing without the government stepping in. All the government did was co-opted the movement. And Professor Griff explained it perfectly. They didn't make hip-hop hot. Once hip-hop got hot, they realized they needed to step in to further incentivize the artists that were already superstars and already hot. They wanted to incentivize them to make a different type of music because the music they were making was a direct threat to the authority. See, the interpretation here is the government is the only reason why rap got popular and got hot. No. The interpretation should be the government recognized that conscious rap and anti-authority music and rebellious music was skyrocketing, was becoming popular music. It was surpassing rock and roll. And they realized we need to do something about this pretty fast and in a hurry. And that something was saying, hey, man, if you want to get a record deal and you want to get signed, you got to gotta kind of have to start moving like NWA. We don't want no KRS-One. Hey, bruh, if you want to be a female artist and you want to get a record deal, you got to start rapping about sucking D and being promiscuous. That's the message we want to push. We don't want no Lauryn Hills out here. That was what they did. Not make it popular, just co-opt it. Professor Griff explained it perfectly.
Page 236, it talked about how they would get together and hip-hop. And they did that by using Quincy Jones and the Vibe magazine to as hip-hop. So by the time NWA came out and Dre came out with the Chronic, it successfully neutralized Public Enemy. So you heard No More Consciousness. Sad but true. We went through a period. Now let me read you the period that we went through. We went from the oral tradition of hip-hop and then entered into the conscious era of hip-hop. After the conscious era of hip-hop, we went into the gangster rap era. From the gangster rap era, they started thugging, balling out of control, and this is where you get all about the Benjamins, cats making it rain in the club and this kind of thing. Shortly after that, the pimping element of hip-hop was introduced. And at this particular time, they were marrying hip-hop on to strip clubs and that kind of madness with Luke and these kind of songs coming from the bottom. They was marrying hip-hop on to the criminal element. They was marrying hip-hop on to pimping and gangsterism and balling out of control. They constantly was marrying hip-hop on to these things because hip-hop was the voice of the voiceless. So now we entered into a phase of the metrosexual. I'm gonna say that again slow. The metrosexual was put in place as a buffer between the radical brothers and sisters that were taking their product to the record companies. You had to go through them, and their job was to just strictly turn you down and become the buffer. So when you came with your positive material, they said, no, we're not signing anything like that. But if you did something like NWA, and NWA became the template for all the other rap groups that come out at that particular time. So now as I'm reading the book, I'm thinking about sharecropping back in our history and how we can run a parallel between sharecropping and what's going on at the record labels, which are nothing but plantations in your damn way. So
that's the real explanation. Rap music was already popping. Rap music was already going to do what it was going to do. The government really only had two options. Hey, man, make rap music become popular through conscious music naturally, anti-authority music naturally, have rap music go untouched and keep it in its purest form, and have them continue to educate the masses or start to incentivize people to make a different type of music. And that's what they chose to do, not this nonsense. Somebody says there is no more rap in a hit list after USAID was cut. Rap was a psyop to tear down white culture. Why do y'all feel like the world revolves around y'all, man? I don't understand it, and I'm not talking about all white people, man. I'm talking about the white supremacists. Why do y'all feel like the world revolves around y'all, bruh?
So I'm sitting here thinking, what does this actually mean going forward? Because if the funding is gone, the counter-funding is gone too. And now we know that people with no talent, how they got famous. The machine that was deciding who gets pushed and who gets buried just lost its budget. So does that mean a kid with a guitar who actually knows how to play has a real shot now?
I'll be real, y'all can't be this dumb, bruh. You think that these record labels with billions of dollars who are ran by billionaires, you think they needed USAID? No, first of all, USAID is for internationally. USAID is to run these co-op psychological campaigns. These billionaires at UMG who owns billions of dollars in catalog, who got billions of dollars off of music, these people got a D budget. These people do their own promotion, their own marketing. These people are not ran by USAID dollars. So what do you mean the money has dried up? Are you dumb? Are you high? No, there's still record labels. There's still gatekeepers at these labels who decide what music is popular and which is not. But y'all let me know in the comment section, man, what do you guys think about this, all right? Now, I don't think Joe Rogan did this on purpose, but I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Do y'all feel like Joe Rogan deliberately misinterpreted like what actually took place to create this problem, or do you guys feel like this was just an accident? Let me know in the comment section. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen to find out why today was a huge nightmare for Charlemagne the God. I'm going to see you guys in the Charlemagne video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.